So we just want to start really by saying we wholeheartedly congratulate all of the shortlisted projects and organisations here today and acknowledge all the people behind each of these who work so tirelessly to lead the way and make change for their community. The shortlisting process was incredibly tough again this year for us. Everyone who submitted had such amazing stories, great work and impact. And we then had a lot of, quite involved conversations in our panels about the process itself and about the awards generally, how they align with our values, but also thinking about what they mean and what they could mean for the sector. So we're thinking about all of these things and how we can develop the awards next year. But in the meantime, we really want to emphasise that everyone who is shortlisted is already an exemplar of good practice. And to reflect this, our award panellists are going to share some highlights of each shortlisted project before sharing the winners and highly commended projects. So I'm now going to welcome Victoria and Matt, our co-chair, just to kind of reflect really on their thoughts around the awards. So Victoria, I wonder if you could tell us why you think these awards matter.
Thanks, Hayley. So the first thing I want to say is, you sort of touched on it really, but this is definitely not about marking one thing as being better than the other. For us, it's definitely about celebrating the range of work that's happening in this space and hopefully giving us all new ideas. And these three awards, Collective Power, Practicing Well and Climate, the themes are really important to us at the Alliance. They speak very much to our core values, which I hope resonate with our members as well. All these shortlisted projects today, and in fact, everybody that applied, is trying to nurture a sense of collective shared responsibility, whether that's about the climate emergency or building partnerships or making sure practitioners are properly supported in their work. But most important of all, these are quite difficult times, and it's quite easy to feel lost in what can sometimes feel like a slightly cynical phase or a dehumanized political context, perhaps. I feel so lucky working with the Alliance because we get to spend time with these projects and people, and it's our job to find out about them and share this work. And none of it is cynical. All of it is humane. All of it is based in hope. And an event like this really makes me realise how important it is to stop and take notice of what's going on to change things for the better and to go away with that hope, feeling like we can build on that.
Thanks, Victoria. And Matt, so, I mean, you're newer to CHWA as a co-chair. Is there anything that you've found, with reading through the awards and that have helped you understand the sector, or, what story do you think they help to tell?
Wow, so thank you and hello everybody, and I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to be here today and to meet you all. I've spent the last few weeks looking at the work of the shortlisted nominees, and what I've found has amazed me. It's amazed me. In looking at your work, I've travelled the world. I've visited places that I've never been to before, all virtually, but I have walked through galleries, beautiful spaces. I have met really interesting people. I have experienced conversations between and across generations, and I've been inspired. I've been really inspired by what I have seen. When I was thinking about whether I could say anything useful in this space, I came across something that I thought was really beautiful, and I want to share it with you. It's from the writing of an American writer called L.R. Knost, Knost. She writes about childhood and growing and nurturing, raising children in this challenging world. And what she says is this, and I might get a bit emotional because it's powerful stuff. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of this world. All things break and all things can be mended, not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go, love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you. And what I've seen in this shortlist and what I've experienced in this year that I've been associated with this work is exactly that. So much light, committed, wholehearted people bringing themselves intentionally, extravagantly and unconditionally into the world. And it is beautiful and inspiring. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Matt. That was beautiful. Thank you. And yeah, second everything you've just said there. Yeah, let's take a moment to let that sink in. Thank you. So before we head into the award categories to celebrate all the stories and the people that Matt's just referenced there, we'd like to say a special thank you to our awards artist, Tamika George from Sheffield, who has won the commission to create the physical CHWA Awards. And we'll pop links to her work in the chat so you can check her out. She's in the process of making the awards, and they'll be making their way to the winners shortly. So it's time to move on to our first award, and that's Practicing Well with Nicola Naismith.
Oh, thanks, Hayley. And also just to acknowledge before we get into it, all of the hard work that Hayley and Victoria put into the awards every year. I know it's a massive amount of work. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for that. So hello, everyone. My name's Nicola Naismith. I'm a visual artist and researcher and partner for the Practicing Well Award. I am a white woman in my 40s with short brown hair, wearing glasses and a polka dot scarf, and I'm sitting in a room which is painted dark blue. So practitioner well-being is a recurring concern and priority for all of us. This award aims to focus on practice which is leading the way in championing, delivering and embedding practitioner care into project design, commissioning and management. And for the first time this year, we've invited organisations and projects to self-nominate alongside those nominations that come from practitioners themselves. So to everyone working in this area of practice, practitioner wellbeing, we acknowledge and applaud the work that you're doing. Each initiative contributes to an interconnected network of activity which supports practitioners and helps them to be well and to do their best work. I'd especially like to thank this year's judging panel, Alex Evans, Gail Babb and Tan Sinden. And I'm going to hand over to the panellists now to introduce themselves and share the shortlist and key observations that we made about each application.
Thank you. My name is Alex. I am a white man in his late 30s with fair hair and a brightly coloured top. I'm the artistic director of Kazoom Arts, and I've been one of the judging panel for the Practicing Well Award. I'm going to be offering some. Oh, sorry. After you go.
It's all right. A brilliant and smooth double act that we are. My name's Gail Babb. I'm a Black woman in my late 30s with an afro and a wine and white striped top on. And I was part of the panel as well.
I'm going to, first of all, reflect on the Freelancer Manifesto from Turtle Key Arts. The panel felt like this work was a really insightful resource for the sector, and it was driven by the lived experience of freelancers, highlighting layers of needs and prompting people to consider what they can do to make a difference, alongside lots of different helpful ideas for rates of pay. The panel really liked the sense of the manifesto being a living document, something which can be renewed and shaped and revisited as practice progresses.
Another one of our shortlisted projects was Culture of Kindness and Creative Cafe from Headway Arts. We recognised Headway's holistic, peer-led, responsive approach to supporting the well-being of everyone involved in their work. It felt to us very meaningful and embedded in the organisation. There was a strong sense of mutuality and community that's evolving from the culture of kindness, and it captured many hearts on the panel.
The next nominated project is the organisation Live Music Now. We considered this to be responsive to the needs of their musicians and felt that the programme provided a really robust and wide range of opportunities for musicians amongst the challenges of returning to live performance in a post-pandemic world. The nominees' testament really demonstrated how the project had prompted people to think differently about their professional practice and their identity and how that related to their well-being.
The next one is performing medicine. It was evident from this application that both effective and instrumental support are woven through performing medicine's work. From induction through to reflection post-delivery, practitioners' support is prioritised and valued with good rates of pay for all kinds of engagement, whether that's delivery, training, or whatever it is. There was a sense of investment in people, thinking beyond their work and supporting people to develop their own
And finally, the final nomination is the Sparking Change programme by Soundcastle. Soundcastle received several nominations from practitioners who had engaged in their Sparking Change programme, and there was also a self-nomination from the organisation. We felt that Soundcastle's approach was person-centred, it was flexible, and it was responsive. And it was looking to support emerging practitioners alongside embedding well-being throughout the whole structures as an organisation and a community. So overall, some really incredible organisations and projects, and it presented us with a real challenge and a privilege selection panel with a really, really high quality of submissions. So I'm going to say
hi there. I think Alex is passing to me. So I'm Tan Sinden, and I am a Southeast Asian woman. I have long black hair and I have a red jumper. So for this award, we have highly commended project and one winner. The project we have selected will be highly commended examples both commitments to offering a menu of support for practitioners and building an inclusive, flexible and caring culture by centering mental health in their work. Well-being is hardwired through all levels of the organisation, including consideration of how leaders communicate. They demonstrated a clear understanding of their community and responded to the needs of the emerging practitioners coming into this space by creating a bespoke programme. This embedded practices of self-care and reflection alongside practical knowledge to support their pathway, growing a confidence for the next generation to make their own case for better support. And so the highly commended project for Practicing Well Award please give a wave to Rachel Perrin and Hannah Dunster, who were from the Soundcastle today. So well done.
And now we're going to, thanks Tan and Alex and Gail. We're going to move on to the winner now. So when thinking about selecting a winner, it is always a very difficult task. But the winner of this year's award, this organisation leads with care at the heart of their practice, rooted in a strong belief that delivery is not a self-contained piece of work, but part of a programme of many strands of support. This organisation embeds practitioner support through its processes and values, and thinking about practitioners throughout, be it good rates of pay across all elements of the work, training, planning included, involvement in decision-making processes, or creating space for reflection and community. Alongside the considered and embedded practitioner support in their methods, their conceptualisation of frameworks such as the circle of care are promoted beyond their own doors to build mutual support and encourage a shared responsibility for practitioner wellbeing. We believe that this work has great influence on both the cultural and health sectors and will nurture conditions that can enable, as they describe, a multi-directional flow of care, leading to a better understanding between practices and a more sustainable approach to supporting everyone involved in this work. So we are delighted to announce the winner of the Culture, Health and Wellbeing Alliance Practicing Well Award 2022 is Performing Medicine. So many congratulations to you all. So I would like to welcome Susie Wilson, Artistic Director from Glod Ensemble, and Catherine Peters, Executive Producer, Performing Medicine, to say a few words.
Hi everybody, I'm Susie Wilson. I'm the Director of Performing Medicine. I am a tall white woman with dark hair, and I'm speaking from a white room near York today. And thanks so much. What a privilege. And yeah, I'd just like to spend a few moments to just acknowledge and name some really important individuals to the performing medicine work. So firstly, I'd like to thank our program manager and our associate artist, lead associate artist, Carly Annabelle Coop, who can't be here today because she's presenting in Glasgow on a project about health inequalities in relation to people suffering with long COVID. So she's sorry she can't be here. But I just want to tell you that Carly not only co-designs and delivers a lot of the program itself, but she's also the person who's responsible for supporting our associate artists. And to do this takes incredible rigor and clarity and deep listening and humor and compassion. And so really, this award is an acknowledgement of Carly's brilliant work. Need to just say thank you to our associate artists themselves, especially Sylvan Baker, Maria Askew, Dido Fisher, Kate McCoy, Amy Mallet, Yolanda Vasquez, and Hazel Holder, who are a constant source of inspiration. And we just learn from them all the time about how we can support each other better. And to our team, Catherine Peters, Olivia Amory, Eliz Hassan, Pembe Tokluhan, Bella Ecott, Patakoli, Julia Wilson, for their mutual support, commitment, hard work, generosity, and good company. There's a lot of research showing that, as I'm sure you will know, showing that it's the obstacles in the way of giving care that cause the burnout. And so we're always working hard to remove those obstacles. And it's the people, all the people working in healthcare settings, the doctors, the nurses, the patients, the radiographers, the cooks, the porters, and we always need help to reach these people, to forge a dialogue and to gain access to these very kind of monitored spaces. So I just want to thank our colleagues in the NHS who have really gone out of their way to champion our work and to help us get to their staff and work with their staff. And those key people are Arundi Mahendran and Graham Easton at the Faculty of Medicine at Queen Mary University of London, formerly known as Barts. Peter Jay at Guy's and St Thomas's Hospital in the Emergency Department, who we've been working closely with for many years. Andrea Bradley and Rachel Newton at Swansea Bay Health Board. The Wellbeing Champions at University College Hospital, and Janine Valentine and Peter Lewis at Yeovil Hospital. And quickly, finally, I just want to take this opportunity to thank all those people who've been caring for our work and also developing this sector and this creative health movement over the years. And those people often get very little recognition. So I'm just going to name some of them: Victoria Hume, Alex Coulter, Richard Ings, Claire Lovett, and especially Nikki Crane. And it's very exciting to see all your work over all these years bearing so much fruit. So thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susie, and thank you for being so generous and sharing all those people and part of your community that are part of your work. Thank you so much. So congratulations. Before moving on to our next award, we're going to take a moment to spotlight raw material, Raw Material is a creative arts and music centre for young people and adults, working both in the local area of Lambeth, but also further afield across London, in other regions of the UK and internationally. And they believe that the arts and music delivered in a socially and culturally relevant way have the power to change and shape people's lives. And also have the knowledge, and that the knowledge, skills and experience made possible by the performing and visual arts and creative experimentation are essential to young people and adults' development. So I welcome Programme and Facilities Manager Naz, who is going to share a few words and introduce a new film about their project, Raw Sounds. Welcome, Naz.
Hi, thank you for having me, and just thank you everyone for giving me sharing this moment with me. I just want to thank the team at Raw Material who plan and deliver the project and make it happen. And I also want to thank mainly our members who attend the session, because they are the ones who make it come to life. And I just want to show you this film that was created by Media Trust, Olivia, one of the directors, and just show you what we do through a lens, and and just enjoy it. And thank you once again, everyone. And I'll pass it all back to you to play the film.
When I first came to Raw Music Media, the love and the support shown was unreal. I was referred to a SLAMS mental health service. They introduced me to Raw Music. I sort of put an application forward, and we started off with a session which was a young workshop, just making music, connecting with other artists, other young people.
I'm a local head, born and bred in Brixton. I've been here since 2010, 12 years now, and I've worked my way up to becoming a Programme and Facilities Manager.
It's a great environment. It's really powerful to see the development of people, and it also develops you as a tutor.
I met Naz. He's become more than just somebody I work with. He's become a genuine brother, a genuine person I go to. Just having people in general who are there to sort of grow and impact you on your life.
You've got peers around you who are there to support you, even if they're going through their own tough times. For me, I think that's what's unique about Raw Material and Raw Sounds as a project. Everyone together.
I walked in, everybody was so welcoming, so lively, so smiley, and I felt this is a safe place to come.
Here, the guidance is so supportive. All the peer groups are amazing, and I feel so humble.
Call it one love, one love mode, the mode of love, the language of love. Music is the language of love.
At Raw, we have a few different types of sessions, and some of our sessions are open to young people and adults. Had some time to go through your lyrics and stretch a little bit.
You don't have to be speaking about where we're from, our differences, just like it's something we can all just get along without even having to speak.
One more thing, I got a gut feeling about this one.
I get to improvise and learn from other musicians. You can express how you want to express.
It plays a very big part in my mental health and my well-being. If I didn't do music, I don't know where I'll be doing. I probably would be on the street or something.
It's kind of built my confidence. Like now if someone asks me, I could say I can sing.
I feel rejuvenated, honestly. When I go home, I think we've done another song today, I've accomplished something.
And for us here at Raw, it's not really about are you going to make it as an artist, but more so how art can impact your life.
Honestly, I've had some of the best days of my adult life that I've been doing Raw gigs.
The outcomes so far have been the most life-changing and genuine, the most realness I've ever felt in my life.
Thank you so much, everyone. I just really appreciate you just taking time to watch that. It hasn't been released, so this is exclusive for you all. And it's just quite an emotional thing for me, because I came through the programs as well 12 years ago. I was a participant, and 12 years on, I'm able to be on the side where I'm programming and directing sessions. So the career route for me alone was just it just up a massive foundation for my life and my well-being. So just passing it on the baton to the next people that come through and just keeping this train moving. So thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. It feels quite emotional actually. Thank you.
Thank you, Naz. Thank you so much for sharing that film and that story. I loved watching your face while you were watching it as well. It was like everyone who came up, you were just grinning because seeing them. I was watching both at the same time. So thank you for that. We're now going to move on to our second award, the Climate Award. My name's Hilary Jennings, and I'm director of the Happy Museum Project. I'm a middle-aged white woman with short fair hair and glasses, and I'm wearing a floral kimono top. The Happy Museum Project, together with Culture Declares Emergency, are delighted to partner with CHWA on the Climate Award. Health, inequality and climate are interwoven consequences of how we as humans treat each other and the world around us. And with this award, we aim to shine a light on the people, the projects who are recognising the connections between climate, health inequalities, creativity and culture. Those who are designing holistic and multi-solving approaches in response, and in the process supporting the well-being of their local communities and of the planet. First of all, we'd like to say thank you to Natalie Linney, who was one of our panellists who's really sadly unable to join us today, for all her insights during the process. Natalie is a Manchester-based artist. She's an educator and she's co-founder of Salford Slow Fashion. She was part of the Collaborate project, which was the highly commended project for the Climate Award in 2021. And she's been working with Cartwheel Arts, who we believe are here today. I'll now hand over to Victoria Burns, who's representing Culture Declares Emergency, as we share some of the highlights of the shortlisted projects.
I'm sorry, after all these years, I still haven't got used to setting myself off mute. It's lovely to be here. Thank you, and a real privilege to have been involved with these awards. I'm Victoria Burns. I'm the National Coordinator for Culture Declares Climate and Ecological Emergency. I'm a white woman with short brown curly hair, wearing a white fluffy top and thick rimmed, slightly oversized glasses in my little office in North London. So this year we were excited to see how many more interconnections are being made in both practice and the framing of work in this space, and how many more voices are emerging to challenge and change the narrative surrounding the agenda too. So these are some of the shortlisted highlights. We felt that the Courtyard presented an exemplary environmental and sustainability programme for any venue, tapping into many different sector initiatives. It should win awards for that alone. The panel also recognised the importance of the venue as an anchor within a bigger network to drive local collective action with others.
Our next shortlist was eco-capabilities, supporting children's well-being through art in nature. We felt that this was extremely valuable research. It was a research-based investigation bringing together thinking around well-being, engagement with nature, arts and education. And with its specific focus on communities that experience deprivation and low socio-economic status, we believe this work has the potential to be part of a really important shift in perception and beliefs around access to nature and who can claim it.
Next, there was the Look Climate Labs, Look Photo Biennial. We loved the collectiveness of this work. It seemed to be constantly building connections with a wide breadth of community partners from across the region and the world. Its strength is in how it connects anxiety with agency, driving collective action and creativity, and how it draws explicitly to well-being outcomes and systems thinking.
Our next shortlisted application was Mum, Will the Planet Die Before I Do? This was a podcast series full of truth and care and driven by lived experience, and with a commitment to platform marginalised and seldom heard voices from around the world. The podcast asks important questions, but also seeks collective responses. We'd particularly like to recognise the tireless and tenacious commitment of Katie and Babita in their pursuit and creation of this podcast.
Our Earth, Your Choice. The creative and collaborative nature of this project stood out alongside its responsiveness to young people's ideas and experiences of eco-anxiety and isolation due to COVID. The well-being impacts were evident, vast and woven through the process, from nurturing social connections, building resilience to empowering young people to harness their own creativity to present alternative futures.
And our final shortlisted project was Yarmouth Springs Eternal. We felt this work was strongly rooted in community, yet with space to allow for constant evolution, responding in a meaningful and timely way to need. It demonstrates a very strong sense of the links between climate, culture, nature, well-being and inequality, and it's underpinned by a deep understanding of lived experience.
Thanks, Hilary. So as a panel, we decided to select 2 highly commended projects, a demonstration of how difficult we found it to select from this very strong selection of proposals, and just 1 climate winner. Both highly commended projects had the potential to influence the sector and practice by promoting conversations around access, perception, and ownership of green spaces and nature connectedness, building pathways and arguments for nature and creativity to be embedded into our wider systems of education, civic action, health. We believe these projects are helping to shift mindsets within communities who have historically not had access, particularly those from low socioeconomic backgrounds or facing multiple indices of deprivation. As one of the project leaders said, we emphasise that nature isn't just pretty pastoral landscapes requiring walking boots and the car access. It's the living stuff that surrounds us in our streets, buildings, places, and culture is central to this. So we are pleased to announce that the highly commended awards for the CHWA Climate Award 2022 are Eco Capabilities, supporting children's wellbeing through art, and Yarmouth Springs Eternal. Please let's give us a big wave to representatives from both those projects today. For Eco Capabilities, Nicola Walsh, Executive Director of the UCL Centre for Climate Change and Sustainability Education, and Ruth Sapsid, Director of Cambridge Curiosity and Imagination. Well done. And Genevieve Rudd, Artist and Project Lead, and Moses Gomes, for Project Assistant for Yarmouth Springs Eternal. Congratulations.
Congratulations to both of the shortlisted, the highly commended awards. But now we're on to the winner. The decision on this winner was unanimous. This outstanding project is strong on creativity, co-production and climate justice. Alongside the artistic endeavour of co-producing a creative video game to connect with a wider audience, there was a thoughtful and deep commitment to support the young participants and co-producers throughout the project. The panel were particularly excited about how this work, alongside being a creative opportunity, was also developmental in its approach for the young people taking part. Space was created to nurture agency in their response to climate change, supporting them to become new voices and activists for the future. The process itself allowed for this to be explored in ways that were accessible and drew on the existing strengths, skills and talents of the young people involved. We're thrilled to announce that the winner of the CHWA Climate Award 2022 is Our Earth, Your Choice. I would like to welcome Judy Alston, Creative Director, and Andy Campbell, Digital Director and Games Developer for Our Earth, Your Choice from One-to-One Development Trust to say a few words.
Oh, hello, everybody. Gosh, it is really, really moving. Just to say, I'm a white woman. I'm in a home at home, surrounded by lots of plants. I've got blonde hair and glasses on. This project and this award really goes to our, God, so choked up, sorry, our young people who've just been absolutely phenomenal. We set this project up during COVID as a solution to young people that were struggling and having a hard time. It was a totally ambitious, bonkers project to create a video game online. But what was so amazing about it was that 20 months in, we still had nearly all the young people coming to the project. And we just, it's just been so inspiring. Andy, please say something while I get my head together.
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm a white man with black-rimmed glasses, short brown hair. I'm amazed, absolutely amazed. Thank you so much. This was probably one of the most challenging projects we've ever undertaken, but also one of the most deeply rewarding as well. I'm just so proud of all the children and young people involved. I think it's, in some instances, I think it's actually been quite a life-changing project for them. So I'm also thrilled to say that one of our participants is here, Tiara. She's in the audience somewhere, which is brilliant, just that she could make it. Yeah, just amazing. I'll paste the I'll put the address of the project into the chat, so if anyone wants to download the video game that was produced at the end of this, you're welcome to do so.
We also have to thank our funders, of course. We were funded by Wakefield Council, Creative Wakefield, who were instrumental in supporting us through this project. And just to say, young people in games get a lot of rap sometimes, but what our Earth Your Choice shows is that gaming can be a really, really good outlet. The creative industries is the fastest growing sector in the country, and offering opportunities for young people to produce life positive games like this around key contemporary social issues is really, really, really important. We decided to do our evaluation for the project as a virtual gallery rather than a written report as well. So if you do fancy having a look at the website, there's some really quite interesting stuff on there. And the voice of the young people runs right throughout the project, the artwork that's been made, the storylines in the game, how we've marketed it, the film we've made that they've shot. And this, for our organisation, but also for the young people, is just a massive, great, beautiful boost. And I can't thank you enough. I'm so pleased. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Judy and Andy. Congratulations to everyone involved in Our Earth, Your Choice. I feel a bit emotional, and it's nothing to do with me. It's just the whole day. It's incredible to be here. But now it's time to celebrate the final award, which is the Collective Power Award, which is in partnership with the Ideas Alliance and the Lived Experience Network. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Eaton. I'm one of the directors of the Ideas Alliance, and together with the Lived Experience Network, we partnered with CHWA to create this award. I am a white woman in my mid-30s with long light brown hair, and I'm wearing a red and white jumper, and I'm sat in a cold white room in Chichester by the south coast near the sea. So the description for this award, well, we started with the phrase, "Together we are stronger." And this was more than reflected back in the responses we received. We were so excited to see such a diverse mix of interpretations of what collective power could be and what it meant to different people, from large place-based multi-organisational responses to small grassroots people-led initiatives. The sector's response to the multiple challenges and crises we face has illuminated the power of co-production and embedding lived experience, which has driven so much of the innovation, creativity and collaboration. Today, we're naming the lead partners, but as you can imagine from the award title, each shortlisted project represents a huge collection of other partners and collaborators, which you can read all about on the CHWA website if you want to. And just taking this moment to share with sensitivity that during the rundown of this award shortlist, we will be mentioning suicide briefly in context to the North London Suicide Prevention Programme. So I now invite my fellow judge, Mar Rana, who is an artist, researcher and co-director of the Lived Experience Network, and Hayley, who is stepping kindly in last minute for our fellow judge, Axe, who sadly can't make it today, but Axe is an artist, educator, producer and co-creator of Misery, which is a creative mental health community, and Misery Meets was the highly commended project for last year for the Collective Power Award. So Mara and Hayley will give you an insight into the shortlist and what struck us about each application. So over to you guys.
Thanks, Anna. Hi, my name is Mar, and I'm a woman in her 50s with white curly hair. So the first shortlist project is a manifesto for 2.8 million minds. A manifesto for 2.8 million minds is a youth-led, artist-centred and disability justice-informed approach with values of co-production, lived experience and equity integral to reimagining mental health support, justice and pride. Importantly, this project amplifies the voices of young people. It also inspires multi-layered collaboration and everyday creativity. As a panel, we were excited by the potential of this manifesto to influence meaningful change.
And the next project on the shortlist is Connecting with Yemeni Elders Heritage Project, National Museums, Liverpool. So the panel loved how this work was instigated by the will and ideas of an individual, Abdul, from Liverpool's Yemeni community. This intergenerational project demonstrates how the right coming together of people with a vision and an organisation with the resource and expertise can transform access to shared understanding, exchange of knowledge, and a real new sense of community and pride.
The next shortlisted project is Gloucestershire Creative Health Consortium, co-production, COVID and beyond. We saw co-production and creativity interwoven through all aspects of this consortium. From strategic thinking to project delivery, Gloucestershire Creative Health Consortium responded proactively to the ideas and needs of people with lived experience. Again, as a panel, we were excited by how effective this consortium was at unlocking creative health assets, promoting collaboration and supporting different ecologies of practice.
Up next is the Association for Cultural Advancement through Visual Art, the Grenfell Memorial Community Mosaic. So this project, initiated by the association in partnership with the Al-Manar Muslim Cultural Heritage Centre, committed to working slowly, gently, over time, embedded within and for the community. We were inspired by the layers and levels of engagement to build relationships, create meaningful artworks, and become part of the wider recovery of Grenfell.
The next shortlist project is North West London Suicide Prevention Programme, Rethink. We felt that this work demonstrated a strong commitment to co-production, not only as a process, but importantly, to how the Rethink programme valued everybody's contribution, for instance, by reimbursing people for their involvement. There was an acknowledgement of hierarchical systems, but by putting co-production central to the work that they do, as well as embedding lived experience, people were empowered and work could be done to address complex societal issues such as suicide.
And the next project is Union Chapel, Creative Community Leaders Programme. The panel felt that this work firmly presented how the application of creativity and art forms is powerful and instrumental in social change, and how through developing leaders with lived experience can enable people to make the changes they want to see in their own communities. We were really impressed by the progress so far in shifting thinking with local and national authorities, and believe that this is the only beginning for this work.
And the final shortlisted project is CUTH, Blackout UK and Cultures CIC. Understanding what mental health means to men from ethnic minority backgrounds. The power of truly listening is at the core of this work. We were struck by the commitment to embedding lived experience throughout this collaborative partnership, and how creativity began to weave and become more central to the project and the wider organisation. This project reminded us of how creativity can unlock new understanding and new thinking.
So on to the highly commended project. We were captured by the radical nature of this work and its conviction in positioning lived experience at the heart of decision-making about creativity and mental health in response to a crisis in a locality. The panel were also excited by the potential, the snowball effect of this work, not only from the impact of young people being involved in a political process and how that could radiate out into their own lives and communities, but also through the generous resources enabling others to embrace an action and manifesto for change. A highly commended project is a manifesto for 2.8 million minds. A big wave to people here today from the project, Dr. Zoe Whitley and also Claire Lovett from the Greater London Authority. Well done to absolutely everyone who was involved. I know there was many partners, artists and participants. Well done.
Thanks, Ma and Hayley. So on to the winner, or in this case, should we say winners? Because this year we've decided to have co-winners for the Collective Power Award. Both of the winners' work is grounded in place-based approaches and driven by core values of collaboration and co-production. One is developing a place-based system that brings together partners from across health and culture to meet the needs of their community in a responsive, co-productive and imaginative way. And we just felt that this work had real potential to influence the whole sector, especially with the increasing move towards the development of more local ecologies and strategies to support more joined up and sustainable working. And the other project is a project that wholeheartedly reminded us of the collective power of community. It was close to 1,000 people being involved. It spoke of a returning to creativity in the face of adversity and personal and collective trauma, to connect, to memorialize and heal, and how the role of creative practitioners can create space for people to tell stories and build meaningful shared experiences. So I can announce that the winners of the Collective Power Award are Gloucestershire Creative Health Consortium, and Grenfell Memorial Community Mosaic. And first, we would love to welcome representatives of the Gloucestershire Creative Health Consortium. I believe Amabel Mortimer, the project manager, and Karen Lawton, chief executive of Mind Song, to share a few words.
Hi, wow, thank you so much. It's my turn to be choked now. So I'm hi Karen, wherever you are as well. So yeah, my name's Amabel Mortimer. I'm the project manager of Gloucestershire Creative Health Consortium. I'm a white woman. I have long dark hair and glasses on, and I'm in my very cold office at home. And I'm very excited. So I don't know where Karen is, but if it's okay for me to just speak. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm completely blown away by this. It's amazing. For our project, it's been a long journey of us all working together, but it's so fruitful. And for us, again, like the other projects I've spoken about, for us it's sort of top down but bottom up as well. Everybody is involved. That's our participants, that's our artists, it's all the organisations we work with, it's our local NHS and commissioners. Everybody is round the table, and it's the most important thing that you can imagine, because we're all talking and we're all forging forward to make creativity at the heart of everything that we do. And yeah, it's absolutely, it's a mind-blowing thing, really. For me, you know, I think it's to thank everybody for the work that we do so closely, the work, how hard everybody works and continue to do so. The support that is offered to all the people that access our services. And that's, I think over COVID, we accessed over sort of, it was close to 6,000 people in Gloucestershire alone. And that worked out at a sort of, quite a large percentage of the population that were doing creative arts, and the quotes and the stories we were getting back from people, it was, you know, I think one person described it as life-changing. And for us, that's why you know, why we do what we do. It's what drives us. So we've actually we have written a paper that I'll share with you all later on. Karen might have the link to put in the chat. But the key things is that it's the beacons of support, the joy, the friendship, and the fun that we created together, you know, throughout the whole of the pandemic. It was so difficult. We were meeting people that hadn't been out for months and months and months, and they were completely lost. And then to meet people that were saying, hey, you know, we can meet online, people care, people know we're all right, I've got something to talk about. It was just incredible. So I have to say, to be recognised this way by the Culture, Health and Wellbeing Alliance and the Ideas Alliance and the Lens for the Collective Power Award, it's as I said before, it's testimony that we are stronger together. So thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And congratulations to Grenfell as well. Amazing. Thank you. I'm going to mute myself now before I ramble.
Oh no, well done. Huge congratulations. And Grenfell have had a little bit of time to prepare now. So over to representatives from Akava of Grenfell Memorial Community Mosaic. I believe Tom Holly, CEO of the Association for Cultural Advancement Through Visual Art, and Programme Manager Lisa Nash.
Hello. Hi, I'm Tom Holly. I'm the CEO of Akava. And what a surprise. What a very, very exciting experience it's been to be shortlisted, but also to be granted an award is fantastic, especially in such fabulous categories of collectives of amazing work that's happening all over the country. So just a little bit about the organisation, because we've been in existence for 50 years. We run artist studios and creative workspaces across London. We've got a couple in Essex and one up in Stoke-on-Trent. And one of the defining characteristics of the organisation has been that in the early 70s, when it was established, we decided that artists should work in their communities. So it's really social practice that's been embedded in the organisation from way back in the 70s, right the way through to today, where we are growing and expanding that work. That has evolved over the years, is significantly focused on health and well-being in non-clinical contexts. We work in our own spaces and in communities. In North Kensington, that's the kind of really the flagship of our work, and we've been working there for over 20 years, 50 yards from Grenfell Tower. So after the tragedy of the fire, we were in a position to immediately respond to that through having built trusted relationships with the diverse communities around there, and through the employment of local people in our programs. So the people that deliver the work in North Kensington are people that live in the community. So when the Grenfell Tower fire happened, we responded the next day, and my colleague Lisa, I will hand over to talk you through that in more detail. But it's really important to us that the longevity of being embedded in a community with creative practice to build long-term relationships and build the trust across lots of different communities. It's not one community, it's several communities that we work with. The process itself is the creation of a communal mosaic where everybody can participate. And again, Lisa will talk you through some of the people that we've worked with over what is now a 5-year period. So it's been a long process. It's evolved as the fallout from the tragedy has evolved, the political context and the social context has changed. The needs of those communities have changed as well. But I don't want to talk too much about that, because it's really an enormous credit to my exceptional colleague, Lisa Nash, who has led this work from day one. It's really to the culmination of the particular project that we've been awarded for. It's not the end of our work there, of course, because we work there, some of us live there, and we'll continue to work with those communities, and we have launched lots of new programs in that period. But really, this is Lisa's project, and she should take the credit for it, because it's an extraordinary personal and professional commitment that she's made. So I will now hand over to Lisa, and she can talk about the experience of delivering this project. Thank you.
I am a white woman with grey hair, wearing glasses, white background behind me. So yes, this is emotional as well. So I'm kind of with Judy on, and the other people who've been experiencing high emotions when they found out that they've won an award, because you know, this is quite personal as well. So I'm trying not to get emotional, because I really want you to hear what I want to say. But it has, this project, the Grenfell Memorial Community Mosaic, as Tom said, is a 5-year project. It culminated in 39 mosaic stepping stones being installed in the pavements around the route of the Silent Walk, which historically happened monthly after the fire. And each paving slab has the word justice written in it in a different community language that was spoken in the tower. All of these paving slabs have been made by community members, plus obviously the facilitating artists. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Emily Fuller and Tomomi Yoshida, who are the artists who have led this project with such care and love and attention. And I'd also like to mention Al-Manar, who is our local mosque in North Kensington, who we've partnered with for this project. And also a big shout out to Ismahan Igal, who we've worked with really, really closely on the project from the mosque. She has been our community consultant and just a fantastic listening ear, and well, somebody that I've really, really enjoyed collaborating with, and who's become a dear friend through the process. What else do I want to say? I think just that, you know, this project wouldn't be possible and it wouldn't exist without all of the hundreds of local people who have come to Akava, and whether it be just lay one mosaic tile, one tiny mosaic tile, or have sat there and had a cup of tea while the project's been going on, or have got more and more involved and kind of taken ownership over a whole paving slab or a whole leaf. It wouldn't be possible without them. We've included as many people as we can from the local community, schools, primary schools, secondary schools, faith groups, tenant and residents associations, local community groups, as many people as possible. And I feel like the last year of our 39 stepping stones has been a great way to culminate the project. And I'm really proud that we've managed to stamp the word justice 39 times around the borough of Kensington and Chelsea. And I really do hope, you know, our people in our community are still fighting for justice. And, you know, the fight goes on, and it's memorialised in the mosaics. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lisa and Tom, and Mabel as well. Thank you. It's really moving today. The you know, the power of this work is really coming through, and people have been saying, you know, in the chat, that same thing, and that sense of feeling that we are a tribe. You know, there's so many great people out there, and artists, practitioners, community members that are trying to really make change. So thank you everyone for sharing your stories today. And yeah, so that's the last of our awards. And I'd just like to say thank you again to all our award partners, panellists, artists and organisations who've gone out their way to make this event and the whole programme come to life. We wouldn't be able to do it without you all, so thank you. And I just kind of want to reflect a little bit on all the work that's been highlighted here today. And so much of the work that we all do collectively is about creating and holding space. So would that be spaces of safety and uncertainty, spaces of action and stillness, of creativity, of activism and bravery, but also of love. You know, spaces that enable these meaningful conversations, the coming together of people, minds and hearts. Spaces to heal, spaces to reimagine and spaces to breathe. And with the pace and precarity of the work that we do, it can be so hard sometimes to carve out space to allow our work, the process and ourselves to settle, to acknowledge, to grow and to move forwards. So with that in mind, today we'd like to leave you with a track called Just Breathe. And this is by an artist called Miri. She's a musician, songwriter and community activist and is connected with Raw Materials, who we've heard from today. Thanks, Naz, for that. It was brilliant earlier. So you can find her on her socials, on her website. I'll put that in the chat. So I'd really just like to invite you all in these last few moments of the event today to listen to the music. You know, here is some space and time for you to reflect on your own moments of change and courage in the last year. And let this power you forward to do what comes next. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Take care and onwards.
I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me, I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free. Life can get so rough. You're an angel lost from love. You've cried fear, you broke tears. The world isn't always safe. Being yourself makes you brave and sincere. Coast isn't clear, which is why I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me, I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free. The outside isn't always fun. Being inside can feel so numb and closed in. You're not a sin. It's so easy to get choked. Feels so hard not to let it show that it hurts. Hateful words burn, which is why I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me, I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me, I'll be the safe space that you need. Feel free. I am here for you, like you've been here for me. Just breathe. You can call on me, I'll be the safe space that